Of all the projects I've done, probably the famous or the most popular project I really like to look back on is the Grand America Hotel. 24-story building, all Bethel white granite, quarried in Vermont, shipped to Italy, 2 twin tire cranes on the project. We had over 38 men on the project, and with the erecting of the panels on site and all the first 3 floors of all hand set, what makes it a little bit unique is still to this day, you talk to guys that we have worked with in the past and other trades will come up to you and talk about how fascinating it was to work on those areas with us, and that they remember the aspects and all the detail that we put into this building.
When you spend a few minutes with John Kunz, Field Operations Manager for KEPCO Plus of Salt Lake City, Utah, you immediately feel the passion that he has for the stone business. A passion that has been honed over a 34-year career that has taken him to stone projects in 44 different cities. By his own estimate, those projects have involved the installation of more than 200 million square feet of natural stone. From his first job doing residential granite work in 1975, John displayed a work ethic that has been his hallmark.
Being from Pittsburgh, I owe a lot to my mom and dad, which really taught me what hard work was all about. Blue-collar town. My dad grew up in a steel mill, and he was my idol, you know, growing up and doing nothing better but just learning what hard work was all about.
By 1979, he was a full-fledged journeyman in Pittsburgh. 3 years later, he earned an associate's degree in construction engineering at Dean Technical Institute in Pennsylvania. In 1985, he began working on his first high-rise, a 34-story building in Pittsburgh. 2 weeks later, he was promoted to shop foreman. He credits a lot of his managerial skills to a 62-year-old superintendent at Continental Marble and Granite.
They took me by the wings one day and said, "John, if you want to be a superintendent one day, I'm gonna teach you what it's all about. Every day you come into work a half hour early, and we'll teach you the trade."
After working extensively in New England, he moved to San Diego, where he opened an office for the Harmon Company. That required him to shuttle between projects in Dallas and California for a time. When work slowed in San Diego, he called Bruce Canappas, owner of Canappas Exterior Panel Company, now known as KEPCO Plus, and arranged a meeting.
I remember the day, I think, it was the first or second week of August of 1992, just a little over 20 years ago. I met him in San Diego. He had tracked us down about a specific project we had down in Rancho Bernardo at the time. And he walked in and he looked the part. And he immediately, when we started talking, he spoke the part. In other words, he was a strong, fit guy who was savvy in knowing his way around the stone business, and it was easily to recognize that. And it's proved to be the case for sure for 20 years.
Canappas has learned a lot about John Kunz over the years.
For such a strong, confident guy, the guy's amazingly humble. He's really, on the surface, quite unassuming, speaks controlled, softly. Over the years, I mean, there's sometimes tension in business. John always keeps really calm, takes a deep breath, and then methodically plows through whatever the challenges are.
Canappas says that Kunz fits in well with the team concept at KEPCO Plus and has been an important part of a team that has won 10 Marble Institute Pinnacle Awards in the last decade.
John brings a wealth of resource from the field perspective, and he's probably the most professional field foreman person who's come up through the working with his hands leader that I've ever seen. I trust him to work with any of our clients hand on hand, but he's very good at advanced planning, working with our project managers, our engineering firm, our estimators up front.
Kunz always remembers the helping hands he received while growing up in the business and readily shares his knowledge with the younger craftsmen.
I remember back when I was 26 years old doing my first high-rise and given that opportunity. I like to think back and say I like to give that back to the guys today. Go out in the field and give them the information and work with them and giving them a chance to grow and give them the opportunity and teach them what the trade is all about, and stand back and let them do the work and let them actually grow, and just like I did, and be respected that way.
One of John's strengths is an uncanny ability to bring all of his teammates together to excel.
I believe bringing everyone together, a lot of times on a casual basis, meet in the morning and just talk. And a lot of that all starts in just a conversation of what we're going to do each day and carry out tasks and completing those tasks.
Kunz says that the greatest change he has seen in the business over his 3+ decades has been technology.
Who would ever think that nowadays that you'd be using an iPad out in the field to download architectural drawings and shop drawings?
John's passion for the natural stone business is exceeded only by his passion for his family, including his wife of 30 years, Diane, a daughter and a son.
I devote myself to them and make sure the family comes first.
For a stunning, award-winning career and his dedication to helping others succeed, the Marble Institute of America is pleased to present the 2012 Craftsman of the Year Award to John Kunz of KEPCO Plus.